Everyone, and welcome to the Lebanon Board of Park Commissioners. I'd like to call the meeting to order and let the record show that all members are present. If everyone's had a chance to look at the meeting minutes from the May 7th meeting, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Under old business this evening, we have Derek Warren, West Side Park resolution. I don't read.
Good evening. I'll make this short and sweet. I'll leave it up to you to ask any questions, but tonight I am here to ask for you to adopt the West Side master plan, park master plan, into your existing master plan as an addition and an amendment. So the resolution I forwarded to the park staff. I presume you all got that. Okay, sorry about that. So should have got that.
No.
Oh, just now? Yep. Okay, well, so there it is. Sorry, you're just now getting it. Included in the packet information is the layout, the conceptual layout, which has not changed since the last time we presented. We did take that to the city council and presented that to them, and they were very receptive of it. And along with that is the cost estimate breakdown for today's prices. So happy to answer any question on what that looks like in terms of cost. Obviously, it's just something that they put together for us to where if we were developing the park today, this is what the ballpark estimate would be. As we move on into the future, you can certainly expect a certain percentage of increase as construction costs go up. But it gives us a ballpark idea of what it would cost to develop a new park of this nature.
Could you tell us what the ballpark is?
Ballpark. Yes, the overall price, they do have it broken down for us into different components, but the estimated cost for the entire park, if we were to write a check today, is $10 million and some change.
I think we got parts of that, but maybe not the resolution, but I couldn't remember a cost breakdown.
Yeah, it was spread out across. I found the resolution. I went ahead and emailed it back, replied back to everybody, so it bumps it to the top of your list, so you don't have to
Okay.
go searching for it.
Okay, thanks. So apparently it was set out some time ago and
Yeah, it was a while
under
ago.
two separate things. Brett found it, so that's our bad. Okay. So nothing, the last time you presented, the thing you presented and sent to us, that's what we're looking to do, because I think everybody was okay with that, right? Nothing's changed from that.
That's correct, and it's none of this is necessarily set in stone. What the action does tonight is it adopts it into your master plan, and essentially, if funding were to become available for something very specific that would be related to this park, because it's in the master plan, it gives us the ability to have that as a supporting document to make a grant application of some sort.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you need to read the resolution?
I'm happy to read it if you'd like me to.
Okay. I mean, legal normally does, so you're legal.
Oh, wow. I did not stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, nor my attorney, but I will read the resolution. Whereas the Lebanon Board of Park Commissioners is aware of the park and recreation needs of the residents of Lebanon, Indiana. And whereas the Lebanon Board of Park Commissioners, realizes the importance of sound planning to meet the needs of its citizens. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Lebanon Board of Parks Commissioners does adopt the West Side Park Master Plan and cost estimate contained in Exhibit A as an amendment and addition to the Lebanon Parks and Recreation Comprehensive 5-Year Park System Master Plan adopted on April 5th, 2023.
Are there any other questions?
Are there any addendums we can add into this that that $10 million park going into that neighborhood that's less than 2 miles from 2 other parks doesn't come out of taxpayer dollars? You talked about grants funds. Can we put an addendum in there saying that it doesn't get done unless that grant money comes in from some other source?
I suppose you probably could. I don't know if I would limit any language like that because you just never know what's going to come down the horizon in terms of funding.
Correct. That's what I mean. It doesn't get done unless somebody else pays for it.
I would not advise to do that.
Have we done any research into, because an issue in that neighborhood, which I live in, my property taxes are meeting my mortgage. They're starting to catch up. And that's becoming an issue for a lot of us. You throw in some Carmel-sized park that's sitting in there. Have we done any estimates on what else it's going to do to affect the cost of living for the people who actually live in this area? I mean, sure, a nice park, but how much fun is it going to be if I can't use it because I've got to work an extra job to pay bills because of the raise I already have coming?
I can all but guarantee the city is not going to raise taxes to build this park.
Say raise taxes, we've used that lingo before where the percentage never goes up, but the valuation on my home goes up, which means the percentage stays the same, but the cost goes up. So I get the lingo says my tax percentage stays the same, but that value still goes up as the park increases the value around. Have any evaluations been done on how it's going to increase the cost of homes in that area, which again, in turn, hurts the paycheck of the people that live in that area that might not have kids?
Understand, I think that's a different conversation than what this is tonight.
Right, but I don't want to sign a resolution on a form for a park that goes into a master plan for an area, basically saying we're going to add it to a master plan, meaning it's an inevitable coming in the future for a 10 million plus contract construction in the future to push up when we don't know the valuation of what it's actually going to do to that neighborhood outside of just having a place where kids can play, which they already do.
With this resolution doesn't really lock us into any payment.
Right, it locks into the master plan, which
Put in the master plan, but still, there's a lot of things in the master plan that we've never done.
That is correct.
It has the reasoning, and tell me if I'm wrong, to put it in the master plan as an amendment in case we do need to go for a grant for something. It has to be in a master plan.
In most cases, that is correct.
There was a time a few years ago where we would, as a board, share with the city council some priority areas that needed attention as part of the master plan.
Yep.
I don't know that we've revisited that in recent times that I can think of.
In your current master plan, you have action and priority plan, which is on in chapter 6, page 1 and 2. And in the priority plan for future park improvements, I would note that in 2025, skate park design is on that list of goals. So if you were to read the future park needs and improvements within that master plan, I think this park right here does meet some of those objectives that were identified in the plan that was adopted. So some of those things are already in there.
Well, what I was going to say, though, was if this does become part of the master plan, is there an opportunity to revisit those priorities periodically so that, if it's not at the top of the list, but other things are, that we have some input on that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the list of priorities is a living, breathing list, just as the document is in itself. So there's nothing in law that says you have to, if there was a priority in 2024 that you didn't get done, you have to get that done before you get this done. So as opportunity presents itself, you jump around a little bit with those things. So it's certainly, none of this is set in stone. So it gives you the opportunity to be flexible.
That's important.
and itself flexible.
I'm sorry?
Is the master plan of the park itself, meaning that it's a $10 million. Can we, as the Parks Board, say that, maybe we don't need all of this? Can we knock it down to just what we had on that list, say a skate park and a couple other things, as opposed to the $10 million plan that we're pushing?
Yeah, it's completely feasible.
At one point we talked about maybe breaking it up in phases, didn't we?
Yeah.
At one point we did.
We did. Mhm.
I'd entertain a motion to pass the
I'll make the motion that we pass the resolution.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda is Kevin Krulik with project updates.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Project updates. I'll start with a couple of, I guess, not true park projects, but we've got the Chadwick Ditch area north of Chadwick, that common area up there. We had our kickoff meeting on Friday, and so we're looking at naturalizing and doing wetland delineations on that piece of public property. So that's just beginning to start the permitting process. Not sure if that will ever come to fruition or if there will ever be, it's appropriate for the conversation we already had, if that project would ever receive funding to go forward. But we are designing that project to put that on the shelf. Fordyce Road, significant trail work going on there. Wanted to update you on the trail has, as of today, has been completely paved from East Street all the way out to John Bart Road, and the school has paved then from John Bart Road up to 150 North, and the school is also getting ready to extend that path further north of their entrance to the bus garage and the new central all the way across their frontage. So a lot of trail work going on there. Unfortunately, we found some pretty poor asphalt materials between Park and Grant. So we're going to have to extend our schedule a little further. We're hoping to be done next week. It's probably going to be about 3 weeks before we're finished with the pavement on the road. But the trail, as of today, is paved.
Looks great.
Thank you.
It looks really nice.
Yeah, I think it'll be a nice amenity, especially with the additional traffic headed out towards the new elementary school. So already seeing a lot of people using it, by the way. Witt Road North, just a quick update there that we've started appraisals. Keep in mind that project is scheduled for next summer. The wayfinding signage that has already been installed. Happy to report that we've now executed our contracts with NDOT for ongoing maintenance and operation of those signs. And then thanks to Mr. Warren, he's been reviewing the Midland Trail planning study that has now been put back to our consultants for revisions so that we can consider a final scope and fee before we would move the planning phases of that. Again, not funded from a construction standpoint, but we want to have our eyes on the next regional trail system as we can see the finish line on the Big Four Trail. Excuse me, jumping to park-specific projects out at Stone Eater. Happy to report that we had the Hoosier Mountain Bike Association out there with the trail, with park staff, to go over some maintenance training and some operational things there. So I think that went really well. I think I was able to join them from that. I think we all learned a lot about what needs to happen, especially on the natural surface trails, on the skills trails. And I know that already improved the drainage performance of those trails significantly. That was back on May 8th, and we saw immediate impacts in helping to drain the trail better. We also happy to report that we have received our fourth and final installment, bringing us all the way up to $100,000 in donations from the CVB. So that's $50,000 that we've received this year. And with that, we're actually looking at seeking some quotes from trail building contractors to help with some of the maintenance for this year, which would be then tied into additional training for park staff to make sure we're well versed on how to operate the park. Pickleball courts, a lot of stuff going on there. If you've not been by, things are looking drastically different. Let's see, essentially since we've last met, all the asphalt work has been complete. All those asphalt pads have now been backfilled with topsoil. Memorial Park, all the perimeter fence posts are up and the perimeter fabric is up. The interior dividing fences, the 4-foot fences separating the pickleball courts, all those posts are now installed. And the Leslie Coatings contractor, the contractor that will actually be painting the pickleball courts and installing the nets, they were on site today doing some fine grade leveling as well as installing bases for the nets. Lighting is up at Memorial Park. Basically, we took down and repurposed those lights and then reinstalled them at Abner Longley Park. New lights were installed today on the existing light bases that were out there. So we're looking at wrapping up all the coatings at Memorial Park and hopefully being able to turn that over for public use around the 28th of the month. So that was our goal, to get that back open before we get to a lot of the festivities around the 4th of July holiday. And then the Abner Longley courts are probably just about 2 weeks after that, they'll be open up. So a lot going on there, but we're near the finish line. The fishing pier, we're still working with the dock contractor at the Abner Longley Park Fishing Pier to wrap up some punch list items. We're told those punch list items will be complete between the 9th and the 12th, waiting on some additional parts to come in, and that will wrap that up. Over at the Big Four Trailhead on Sam Ralston Road, we've had to pause the reconstruction of the asphalt there just due to all the utility construction that's going to go through that area associated with the LEAP district. But we do have our portalet enclosure complete, and we're going to do some sidewalk connections between that portalet enclosure and the existing parking to make that a little more functional until we can rebuild that parking lot after the utility work goes through that area. At Abner Longley Park, we've also completed phase 1 of the path from the Big Four down to the parking lot. And we're working actively trying to coordinate a kickoff meeting for the design on the remainder of the perimeter path as well as drainage improvements down there. So we're hoping we can sort of kill two birds there and not only get the path installed, but also do some significant drainage improvements down there and take care of some of the standing water that we see in the south and southeast corners of the park. 312 Thompson Street, demolition quotes are coming in on that, and we will bring a final recommendation to the Board of Works. But I believe we have a quote around $45,000, and our estimate was $75,000. So those numbers are coming in well under the budgets that we had set. And I think that is all I have, unless there's any questions you have for me.
Football courts, you said the inside fences. First I've heard of them coming in. Just out of curiosity, where did we get the opinion to add them, and who started that conversation? Because I know it wasn't here, obviously.
No, it was, I'm trying to remember exactly where that started. I guess it started at the city council level, at the mayor's office level, looking at what other cities are doing on sort of I guess, the more modernized pickleball courts that are less than conversions, but more purpose-built. Apparently that is sort of the standard in the sport to install these divider fences to contain.
And are they? So you said they're divided. Are they divided into sections of 2 or all 8 courts?
Every single court is divided. There are no gates between the courts. They're just openings, but there are fences between the courts that keep the balls from going into the other courts.
Spacing in the openings.
The openings are, there are 4-foot and 6-foot openings depending on where on the courts. And that was thought through with maintenance in mind on how to get maintenance equipment in and out of there. Absolutely. Yeah. So the narrowest opening is 4 foot.
Courts did we base these off of?
I don't know if there was any particular courts. They're based off the national standards for separations in play of pickleball, what proper safe zones are to dividing fences. Anything else?
I just have one thing to bring up, just thinking, and Derek, this would be probably include you. But if we could start looking at maybe some kind of crosswalk over, out by the soccer fields.
Okay. On
Yes.
Maple Drive area?
Yes.
Okay.
I think probably if you would get with the Parks Department and come up with something, because, there is some parking over there and the kids crossing and.
Yeah, we can get with them. And luckily Derek Warren is our ADA coordinator, so he looks at
That's
those
what I
things
thought.
extensively for us. I can tell you just from practice and working with Derek on these things, I know we typically don't like to install crosswalks in the middle of a block. It's the safest way is to let people cross at stop conditions for vehicular traffic.
Right.
Not to say we don't have mid-block crossings, which would be the term there. We have several in the city, and not that we can't do that again, but we do want to be careful about when we consider those things because they are inherently more dangerous. But with proper signage, warning lights, things of that nature that you'll see around town where we have those going into Memorial Park there on East Street. That would be how we'd probably want to handle that if we're talking about a mid-block situation. Because I believe there's already crosswalks at Maple and Garfield and Maple and 39, but I assume you're talking about something in the middle there.
I just thought maybe it could started and looked at.
Yeah, absolutely.
That might help out.
And, it's something too that the DPW department upgraded some of those crossings over on Lafayette Avenue recently. So it's stuff we can self-perform to save cost as well. And between Derek's ADA expertise and our construction knowledge and the DPW, I think we could take care of that in-house relatively inexpensively.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah. I can't quote you a price right now, but we can bring that back to you next month.
Yeah, that would be fine. Just if we could start working on it, I think it'd be beneficial.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, any new business to come before the board? Okay, hearing none. The next on the agenda is the director's report.
Good evening. We've had several storms over the past month causing us to lose many trees. We'll be continuously working to get those cleaned up throughout the parks, and this summer also the trees that have been injured that we need to take down. So we'll be busy all summer, have a crew working on all the trees. Seashore Water Park is now open for the season. We started off with some chilly weather and rain. But hopefully good to go for now, the rest of the summer. Please visit our website or give our office a call for all our hours and pricing. I'm seeing a lot of season passes coming up, and there again, all our pool parties are booked for the year. They've been booked for a couple months now. Hot Pond, Conservation Pond, and the retention ponds at DPW have all been treated, keep all the moss and stuff off. Having trouble at the Conservation Pond, but we're still working on that. I think temperatures and weather conditions have a lot to do with that. All flowers have been installed and planted at Memorial Park and downtown. Our daily maintenance now goes on for those watering and weeding all the mulched areas. We installed 180 yards of playground mulch, and that was at the Memorial Park Playground and also Abner Longley. Have to have such a thick playground material for fall zones. And then we added all the American flags bordering Memorial Park and down Northeast Street. We put those up before Memorial Day, which was great. New military banners were installed at Memorial Park. The DAR handles all that, so if there's any calls about if you'd like your service member or of the family or someone that you know that you'd like to get a banner, reach out to DAR, and we have those numbers in the office also. I think it was Liz Drury and Sue Gentry did a great job with that. Nice to work with them. We had our first wedding in Memorial Park this summer, I think the second week of May. It's pretty cool. Congrats to that happy couple. Both Conservation Pond and Hot Pond have been stocked with catfish, bluegill, and grass carp. We added crappies at the Conservation Pond only. I don't think they really do well in that small hot pond. The bass will be stocked next month at both ponds. They're out of bass, so we can't stock the bass right now. Please remember that a fishing license is required, and all our ponds are catch and release. Also, this is a free fishing weekend for families with DNR, so if you have any questions about your licensing, check out the DNR website. It's very, very easy to read. But free fishing this weekend, so get the family out and free fishing. Programs and events. Lebanon kindergarten classes hosted their Touch a Truck event in Memorial Park in early May. There were lots of different vehicles from throughout the city, including LPD, fire, police, DPW, Lebanon utilities, and county vehicles. And the kids really did have a great time, and they honked every horn 5,000 times, just saying. But they had a lot of fun. The guys down there, I appreciate all their time to spend with the kids. They had a blast. The Megan Hammerly 5K was the second weekend in May also. Great turnout for that event. They turned out real nice, and the route came through Memorial Park. June is a very busy month with lots of events happening in our parks. It's Friday, June 6th. The Lions Club will be hosting their hoagie sale in the square, as well as Tri-Kappa and Rotary hosting their strawberry shortcake sale. I recommend that for everyone. It is great. I appreciate them. This Saturday, June 7th, the annual Buick Olds Pontiac Cadillac Car Show will be held in Memorial Park. Also on Saturday, Kiwanis will be hosting their annual fishing derby at the Hot Pond Park. On Saturday, June 15th, the Boone County Cancer Society will be hosting a car show in Memorial Park, along with several food trucks. Sage Yoga is still hosting outdoor yoga classes on Saturday mornings in Memorial Park. Our June swim lessons will begin Monday, June 16th. We're full for all our June sessions, other than a few spots left in our evening age group 7 to 10 class. We're looking forward to meeting all the kids that we have this year. There seems to be a great program. We've had a slow start to the Seashore Water Park, but it's really good when you have 22 new faces that are there. We got the rotations down, the opening and closing duties, and yesterday was a busy day. We did have a couple saves, and we will recommend to children that we don't think are safe to put life vests on, and that is our rules, and we will stick to it. It's for their own safety, and things like yesterday won't happen. And thank goodness we have guards that are on top of their game and, incidents, but we did have a couple pretty big saves yesterday. Want to thank those lifeguards for being real attentive, and the managers and the captains that we have out there. Just real good staff. I'm real pleased with what we have and the training they've received. So we also have lap swimming that's going on early in the morning. Diane, how early is that?
5:30 a.m.
5:30 a.m. And we've moved from Lebanon High School now to Memorial Park Pool. We'll do that in the morning, 5:30 to 6:30. There again, reach out to the Parks Department. It's very inexpensive, and we'll turn those the lazy river on so you can walk backwards and get a real good workout. The water was very cool this morning, but yeah, I was going to say it's really warmed up. We had a huge day yesterday. Again, can't say enough about our staff trying to keep up with the grass. We get to mow it once a week, and most of your homes are going 3 to 4 days, and they're doing a great job not leaving a lot of grass, and I think it's just beautiful. All our parks are looking real good. Looking forward to a great weekend. We have quite a bit going on, but our staff's ready for it. And answer any questions that you have.
Parks look great.
They do.
Really,
They do.
really good.
Thank you. I'll pass
really
that on.
proud.
I really are. They do a good job. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. If everyone has had time to look at the claims, I entertain a motion to approve the claims.
I move that we approve the claims as presented.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. And if there's nothing to come before the board, any additional information, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Thank you for joining us this evening.